Oye, mi gente, we all know getting together for the holidays this year is going to be a little different, pero it's not proximity that makes us feel close to our family. With Storyworth, you can still give loved ones a meaningful gift, a chance to tell their story and share memories. Storyworth is an online service helping loved ones share stories, memories, and personal thoughts. Every week, Storyworth emails your family member a different question they can answer in as much detail as they want. Mira, I signed my dad up for Storyworth, y claro que I asked about coming from Cuba on the Peter Pan flights, but Storyworth also provides fun questions like, what's your favorite cartoon character, or describe your first job? Sabe, the little things that really let us know a person. Not only do I get to read his replies every time he responds, but after a year of questions, Storyworth compiles all these stories into a beautiful keepsake book, including pictures that ships for free. I can't wait to see my dad's story put together and then share them with my nephews when they're a little older. You know, pues si acaso, I don't know what my dad's going to reply to these things, right? But this will let them know their abuelo in a whole new way. Well, okay, so what's better than giving your loved ones the gift of togetherness and memories with Storyworth? Bueno, visit storyworth.com/pero to get started right away with no shipping required and $10 off your first purchase. $10 off. Así que visit storyworth.com/pero for $10 off. And remember, what really brings us together during the holidays is our stories.
Hi, people. This is DJ.
This is Ish.
And this is
Season
Season 3
3
of
Pero
Let Me Tell You.
I do, but not all Subway cookies are equal.
Really?
I've been to some Subways where like the edges are burnt, like they leave them too long.
Right. You know, the thing about Subway is that I think Subway sucks.
Well, there goes that sponsorship.
I think Subway sucks. But there are times that I crave Subway. Like, it has to be Subway.
It's not. You're not craving a sandwich. You're
I'm
craving a Subway sub.
Because Subway subs, they all taste more or less the same.
I think it's the bread.
Yeah. But even though I know, like, you know, any sub place has a better sub.
Right. Publix.
Publix has a better sub. Hello, a pub sub.
A pub sub, exactly.
You know, or any of like the local, like Substantial, Hungry Bear, you know, any of like the local sub places have better subs. Sometimes I just want a Subway sub. Like, bam, a cold cut combo.
Which was very good, and thank you for bringing it. Yes, we did.
I guess on that note, everybody,
yes, that is not an ad.
Welcome to episode 136.
Yeah.
How is everybody?
Ooh, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving.
We sure are.
It's around the corner, baby.
We sure are. And we'll talk about that later. But so we had some really nice weather this week.
Oh my God, it's so nice. As we're recording this, it's just so nice.
No una lluvia.
No
un aguacero.
Oh yeah, after like a week and a half of flooding.
No aguacero.
There was no water zeros.
No aguacero.
No water zeros in South Florida this week.
So actually,
nice.
I wanted to tell you, and welcome everybody.
Yes.
How is everybody? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy week before Thanksgiving, I guess.
Happy week before Thanksgiving. You know, are we really having Thanksgiving this year? You know,
well, I'm having Thanksgiving. I don't know about you.
Well, I'm not. Porque me and my parents' house es un batallón de gente. Which,
well,
you know,
okay. May not look the same, but I'm having Thanksgiving. I'm having my turkey. I'm going to have my,
We'll talk about that in our Thanksgiving episode.
Yes.
Pero, actually, speaking of Subway, so I got us, a couple of subs on the way over here to record. And this is so, like, Miami.
Oh, God, what happened?
And I don't get mad at this stuff. Like, in fact, ever since we've had the podcast these past 2 years, like every time
you're like material,
happened, I'm like, oh my God, like, yes, I'm bringing this up on the podcast. So I'm here at the Subway and there's two people working, right?
Okay.
And as probably everybody has noticed and experienced during the age of COVID, a lot of times now when you go to restaurants, even like fast food restaurants, there's somebody doing about 20 million online orders.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was this lady there who was doing like 5 subs, and I could tell it was an online order. Right. And it's funny because I walk in and there's like no, like, I was not like,
no acknowledgement.
No acknowledgement.
Okay.
Like, the earth could have opened up and swallowed me right then and there, and we would have been good. Nobody
A marching band could have walked in.
So I'm there, like 1 or 2 minutes pass. The girl's like literally across the thing from me, doing, 5
her
or 6
order,
subs.
right?
Nada, not even a hello and whatever. And I'm like,
she was focused.
Eventually, she is going to look up and see that I'm there, although she knew that I was there. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
You're not exactly petite.
Yeah,
it's not
like,
like
I'm like, okay, well, eventually she's gonna look up and be like, oh, can I help you? But what I found really funny about this was that in the back, but I could clearly see him, was this viejo, not viejo, he was probably like middle-aged, telling somebody on the phone, ¿Cómo se llama la Jacuba por WhatsApp? Mira, tú tienes que estar seguro que ellos tienen el WhatsApp. Ellos tienen la aplicación. Pero Mimi, ellos tienen la aplicación. Porque tienen que tener la aplicación.
Oh, it's gonna be Mimi.
¿Qué teléfono tienen? ¿Un Android o un iPhone? Pero tú tienes que saber esto. And I'm like, he was having like a WhatsApp tutorial on how to call
He was having like a
people.
TED Talk.
Yes, on WhatsApp. And I'm like, this is wonderful. Like, this is amazing.
They're seeing that there's a customer there,
and it's like, no fucks given. No, like,
I am on my break right now, baby.
No, he was not on his break.
Oh, he wasn't even on his break.
No, he wasn't. He was not on his break. Because eventually when he finished the tutorial, he got to me, like, 5 minutes later. But again, I'm not one to complain or bitch about anything.
I mean, what are you going to do at that point?
And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is, I mean, I wasn't in a hurry, so I wasn't like,
También,
whatever.
yeah.
But I'm like, this is awesome. She's there, making all these sandwiches, like, no fucks given. He's over there, giving a Cuba tutorial on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp. And
at least she was doing something. Like, she was, estaba ocupada.
No. Yeah. And you know what I think is so great about, like, and I've told you this happens a lot of times. Like, I feel that especially at Subway, I don't know if this has been your experience at Subway, because making a sandwich at Subway has so many like different layers to it and steps. Right. The moment that you deviate from like the status quo of making the sandwich, they get very.
They don't know what to do.
Right. Like, for example, when they were making your sandwich, the first thing I asked was for tomato, and like the guy's hand was in the lettuce.
So like, he had to stop and like really think about it.
Like his hand was in the lettuce. I'm like, no. Tomate. And he's like, pero lechuga. And I'm like, no, tomate. Because it's like so like, everybody's like...
It's an assembly line.
Right. Like I've told you. I think I've talked about this in the podcast eons ago. When I go to McDonald's, what I always get are 2 bacon double cheeseburgers without pickles.
Okay.
Right? I say bacon double cheeseburger. Right? That is how I order it.
Okay. I
have been, not once, not twice, but several times, I have gone to McDonald's and ordered my 2 bacon double cheeseburgers, and what has looked at me back was blankness, crickets.
Oh, I got a story for you.
Crickets. Because they don't call it that. They call it a double cheeseburger with bacon.
Oh, so because you put the bacon up front.
Right, because you know that you could say bacon double cheeseburger, right? I've always said bacon double cheeseburger, right?
It's not like you're saying I want a double chicken and then you mean a bacon.
Like, even if like the lingo is double cheeseburger with bacon and it takes you like a second.
Right.
It's like, a double cheeseburger with bacon.
Right.
I had one time a girl tell me, we don't sell that here. We don't sell bacon double cheeseburgers. I'm like, sweetheart, it's a double cheeseburger.
Put some bacon on it.
She's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like the moment you deviate from like
the norm,
the whatever,
they can't.
They can't.
That happened to me one time at Gal Bakery.
Oh yeah,
at Gal Bakery. So we went there. Gal Bakery here on Coral Way is open 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. So I forgot where me and Jose had gone, whatever. And we're like, hey, let's just go get something quick. Una cosita to eat, whatever. It was like maybe midnight. So we stop in, and I'm looking at everything, and I see that they have like una cacharrita of chicken salad.
Oh, yum!
I love chicken salad, and what I love more than chicken salad is a chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
On bocadito bread.
But a chicken salad sandwich at that time, it is now, but it was not on the menu.
Right.
So I said, yo quisiera que ustedes me pongan en la ensalada de pollo, el chicken salad, o sea, un sándwich con un pan. It took 4 people to figure out what I was asking for because they couldn't wrap their head around that I was asking for the chicken salad between 2 pieces of bread.
Right.
It took 4 people to the point where I even heard one person say like, "No, yo no sé, lo de no así." Like they had never, it was never a notion in their head to have a chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
It is now on the menu, and I like to think it's because of me.
Of course it was. The best story I have about that was years ago, that I was in Denny's with my brother and my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law orders a cheesecake, a cherry cheesecake, right?
Okay, all right.
And the girl took her order,
Right.
And the girl was very confused. You know, this wasn't una guanita that just got here. Que,
Right.
She get un cheesecake, you know.
Un cherry cheesecake.
No, this girl was not that.
She was Miami, right.
And I remember my sister-in-law was like, yeah, a cherry cheesecake, like, you know, cherry and cheesecake. And she's like, oh, okay. And you know when somebody says okay,
but you know they're not okay.
Yeah. Right. You know she brought us back? A slice of cherry pie with American cheese on top.
No, she did not.
Yes, she did. We have a picture.
No, she did not.
Oh, yes, she did. Yeah, she did. That was amazing. That's the type of shit that when that happens, I don't get mad. Like, I'm like,
no, that is an opportunity.
This is fodder. Like,
that's hilarious.
This is what
this
we're
is
talking
this.
about it now.
This is this. Yeah. How many years ago did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
here we are. You know, like I think that's awesome.
That is great.
Awesome. And she's like, see, okay. And when she brings us back, we didn't tell her to we didn't.
You didn't correct her.
Oh no.
So to this day, this poor girl thinks that is a cherry cheesecake.
Yeah. Mind you, they had.
She must be very confused if she watches the Golden
you
Girls.
Know the cherry cheesecake is like the classic cheesecake, right?
It's just cheesecake with cherries on top.
Right, that's like the classic cheesecake,
that's how you,
right?
Yeah.
Which Denny's had, or continues to have, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like
that's a standard. When you get a cheesecake, you put a little cherries on top of it,
right? And like it blew her mind. And yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah. No, I really hope that they made the call to Cuba.
And explained what a cherry cheesecake is.
Tiene un iPhone o un Android?
Bueno, es verdad, because you have to direct them to the right store. You know, is it
the right app?
Is it Google Play or the Apple Store? You know.
Yeah. So that reminds me of the time. I think I told you about this. This is when I lived downtown, that I used to go to the gym in my building. Yeah. You know, I was very spoiled. We had like
and it was a good gym.
And it was an awesome gym. Yeah. But I also was subscribed to UFit, the one on Bird Road by my parents' house.
Okay.
And I would go there, and people were like WhatsApping or FaceTiming with Cuba.
At the gym.
And they'll be like, Coño, eres un tigre, man. And I'm like, yeah, you know, here I am trying to get a set in, you know.
Right, and you're telling your whole story.
And he's chatting away, him and his friends in Cuba. And again, that's the type of stuff, I don't get mad at that. I look at it, I'm like, you know.
Where else?
Only in Dade.
Only in Dade.
We will talk about it a little bit later.
There are guests today, guys, but yeah.
So, you know what's another, I guess this is our Only in Dade episode.
Only in Dade bonanza.
Well, our podcast is kind of like Only in Dade.
our podcast, it's Only in Dade with little tentacles that go outside.
The post that I put earlier this week on our Instagram.
Oh, the real estate or DJ?
Okay, let's talk about that for a moment. When I saw that, I was like, true words have not been spoken.
That's true.
Are you really from Miami if you don't have a cousin or a friend or somebody who's a DJ or a real estate agent?
So my cousin is a real estate agent, and Jose's brother used to be a DJ.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. I'm in. Those are my bona fides.
I have 3 cousins that are real estate agents.
I don't think I've ever known a city with more people who do real estate.
Yeah. It's just...
Aquí todo el mundo hace real estate. Todo el mundo
hace real estate y vende Herbalife.
I feel like maybe they go hand in hand.
And I'm sure there's people that are real estate agents that sell Herbalife that on the weekends DJ.
I'm sure.
Es que mira, the thing is...
I don't know, maybe Lucy Lopez se mete a real estate también.
The thing is, seriously. Okay, so you have your parties that need a DJ. Right. But aquí we have a lot of quinces.
And a lot of house parties, too.
Right, but you have your parties. You're always going to have your parties. No matter where you live, you're always going to have people that have parties. Right, so you're going to need a DJ. But here, on top of that, we have a lot of quinces.
No, that's true. And you're not wrong.
And a lot of banquet halls.
We have a lot of banquet halls, we have a lot of quinces. But I think also it's not just like people have a lot of parties. It's like, I feel like, I mean, just think back to when we were growing up. Like, my birthday every year, I had a DJ. It wasn't a big birthday. I was like 14. And I would just have a DJ. I feel like some people would just have like a radio, kind of very low key. Like, no, aquí it's like, oh, tú vas a una fiesta, consígueme un DJ.
Sí.
And you always find one.
Yeah.
You always find
Baratísimo.
one. Baratísimo.
With like $100.
You can get one for like 4 hours. Oh my God, they're huge. For like $300, you can get 4 hours, and then they just throw in an hour.
They always throw in an extra hour.
Yeah.
And they do la hora loca.
Yeah. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah. No, it's a value.
It is a value. It's a better value than a real estate agent.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, a real estate agent makes a bigger payday, but has to really hustle.
That's true. But, I can get more usage out of a DJ.
But I love how real estate agents, and this is not to knock off real estate agents.
No, at all. Listen.
At all, whatsoever.
Nobody hustles more than a good real estate agent.
No. It's not. I mean, it's actually, we're elevating them.
Yeah.
But I love how real estate agents are like, oye, I can get you pre-approved. I can get you pre-approved. And then people are like walking around with a pre-approval letter like, viste, nos aprobaron. Ahora nos vamos a comprar la casita en Palm Avenue.
And that's why the mortgage crisis happened. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh. When I started working in real estate in 2006, this was at like the peak of like the mortgage. Mm-hmm. Well, this was before the mortgage implosion. But this was at the peak of like the mortgage debacle, like how everybody really was a mortgage broker and a real estate agent.
Right.
So the attorney I worked for at that time, there I was still an intern from law school. So, I was
fresh-faced.
I had just come from Michigan, so I hadn't been in the Miami scene
for 3 years.
For like 3 years. I didn't even know what Metro PCS was. Like, because in the Midwest, they didn't have Metro PCS. So when I would come here, I'm like, what is Metro PCS? Actually, in the Midwest.
They didn't have it out there?
No, they didn't have it at that time. Yeah. In the Midwest, I was it's different out there. That at that time, I'm sure reggaeton is now.
Sí, reggaeton is reggaeton.
It's everywhere because reggaeton is worldwide. But in like 2003, 2004,
oh God, no.
Reggaeton hadn't made it, past the Broward line,
Yeah. And that's because of Infiltrados.
And I remember that I'm like, what song is Gasolina? And who the hell is Daddy Yankee? Because I remember I was in term break. Right? And they were putting some award show like Premios Lo Nuestro or something. And here comes Daddy Yankee singing La Gasolina in like a Lamborghini, but it was like floating over the audience. And I'm like, who the hell is that? And you know that I'm usually like really into music.
Yeah, you're pretty on trend, yeah.
I wouldn't know, but that's because in Michigan that didn't exist.
Eso no llegó.
But anyway, so when I was working for the attorney at that time, again, I'd been in Michigan 3 years. I was out of the Miami scene. I didn't know what was going on here. I remember that we had a closing in the office, and there was this guy who was a realtor that we went to high school with.
Okay.
I think I've told you this story.
You might have. I'm not remembering.
That the guy was and is tremendo delincuente. Tremendo delincuente.
That could be a handful of people, so I'll touch base afterwards.
This guy was like tremendo delincuente in high school.
Okay.
And I'm like, so-and-so is in the conference room?
Are we defending him?
No, right. And I'm like, what is he doing there? Oh, he's a realtor. He's representing the buyer or the seller. And I'm like,
Fulano.
And then when they finished the transaction, I was like, how much did, I asked the girls that were doing that. I'm like, how much did he just make? And they were like, oh, yeah, he made like 18 grand in the sale. And I'm like, wait.
In one sale.
Wait. It is a weird world.
Where, right.
Fulano, who we went to school with, that was tremendo.
Barely graduated, if that.
Pushing Lexuses and pushing Benz. You know what I'm talking about, right? In high school. Was now like...
earning 17 grand
per sale
in an hour.
I'm like, whoa. So like being a real estate agent is like a thing here in Miami, isn't it? So that's when I learned. Yeah.
Yes, it is, boo.
I'm like, being a real estate agent is like a thing in Miami.
It's a thing. It's something that, You can probably do better in other cities, but I feel like here there's just more things to sell. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, because a lot of people here, not only is it in terms of population, in terms of supply,
Supply and demand, yeah.
supply and demand, but here a lot of people buy investment properties.
That's true too. Yeah.
So that's open a whole other market.
Yeah. Also, as expensive as Miami is compared to other big markets in the U.S., like your LAs and your New Yorks, we're cheaper.
Yeah.
So,
and also, for example, in downtown, all these high rises downtown.
True.
And I know from experience, those high rises, you can't just go like your local, Nob Hill there on on Kendall, that you go to the, renter's office and you put your down payment and go. No, like in downtown, all those high rises, you need a realtor.
Yeah, because you have to get approved and all.
You need a real estate agent, and it's a little bit more complicated. Yeah. So, but I think it's great, and you know what I think is so funny, that like, when you look in like real estate agents, there's like all types of agents that specialize in different like parts of the community.
So like for senior citizens,
like for example,
rentals.
there's real estate agents that just specialize in Chinese clients.
Well, that would make sense
because
the
a
language.
lot of Chinese, right? And they're not Chinese, but a lot of them know, and a lot of them there's like visas involved.
That's what I'm saying. They know about the specialty.
Because a lot of people in foreign investors, when they invest here, they have to apply for a certain visa.
Claro, there's paperwork. Yeah.
So yeah, there's like specialty real estate agents. So yeah.
I guess
and then there's the people who sell Herbalife.
Is this the learn part of the?
There it is.
There's the learn part, and then there's Herbalife.
You know what I think is amazing about Herbalife is that, so in any business model,
right,
whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's podcasts, whether it's cookies, Andrew, Night Owl.
That's right. Martha.
Whatever it is that you're doing, you want to be either the first or the most famous,
right,
or
the most memorable.
Best. But what you certainly don't want is a ton of competition, right? You don't want everybody, like for example, Andrew from Night Owl, he doesn't want, some competition is good.
You want healthy competition,
it keeps
right?
You on your toes, and it keeps you innovative. But like,
he doesn't want a Starbucks situation.
He doesn't want 1,000 people to be selling cookies, right?
Like every street corner, yeah. Right.
That's a business model in any business. You don't want 1,000 of the competition, because then it's
cannibalizing.
It's cannibalizing.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Except Herbalife, because when you sign up for Herbalife, the point of the person who sells you Herbalife
is not to sell Herbalife. No, it's Amway.
For you to sell.
It's Amway,
Herbalife. Right?
It's a multi-level marketing.
Yeah, it's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. So I'm like, this is the only business model where you have to, like, you want competition. Like, you want people to sell.
No, you're recruiting competition.
Yeah. You want the whole building you live in to sell Herbalife.
You are actively recroning your company.
You know what's really annoying? This just popped into my mind right now. I'm sorry. It's deviating from what we're talking. So now in the age of COVID,
okay,
when you go to a restaurant and they don't give you the menu and you have to scan that damn QR code.
I have mixed feelings about that.
Okay, my problem is when you go to a restaurant where the signal is horrible and they don't have Wi-Fi.
Oh, see, my problem's more like when you go to a restaurant that has, a menu that's like, Pangea Grill, and you have to just scroll through the whole thing.
Factory.
Right. Because it's one thing to go to a restaurant like Eating House, okay, it's a little, it's 10 things, whatever. But no, when you go,
I've already gone like to 3 restaurants where like, oh, scan our QR code,
and you
I'm
can't.
Like, okay, the restaurant's like in a fucking cave, and then it's like, hi, do you have Wi-Fi? No, we don't. I'm like, then how am I supposed to scan the QR code?
What are these cavernous eating establishments you're going to?
One of them is a sushi restaurant in the Gables
right here,
the one where the umbrellas were.
Oh, okay, in Hirada.
Yeah, a sushi restaurant there, which is amazing, by the way. And for some reason, I don't know if it's like a dead spot,
a dead zone
or whatever, that area there, like, and I know that it wasn't just me, because I heard other people complain about it.
Okay.
And they don't have Wi-Fi. And
so what are you supposed to do?
So what am I supposed to do?
Because you don't have a menu for me, so yeah.
No menu. But they do have a TV with the stuff on it, so I was like, yo quiero eso.
But then you have to wait for it to come back again.
Yeah, you do.
Oh. What a lengthy dining experience.
I just wanted to get that off my chest.
As well, you should. Pero bueno, it's not un tremendo dolor de cabeza like a QR code?
That is a clusterfuck. No, what do you do if you have a flip phone?
You don't eat.
You know, ese día, come otro lado because you're not. I'm sure they have like a menu somewhere. They have to have a menu. I mean, they'll just wipe that shit down, like, you know, give it like a Silkwood shower afterwards. But, you know, it'll. I'm sure they have to have it somewhere.
Okay, if you're a retired person that doesn't want to. Or anybody, you know, if you have a flip phone, there's still a lot of people with flip phones.
There are, but I will say, if my grandmother now has a smartphone who's about to be 90 next year, you know what? Anybody can have a smartphone.
Well, not my mother. My mother is way younger than your mom, than your grandmother. And my mom had a smartphone, and she's like, fuck that. And she got a flip phone.
She had it all for all of like
she
3
got
hours.
A flip phone back. She's like, I don't need color.
Okay, for some reason when you said that, I'm picturing like your mother in The Wizard of Oz and her house lands and she opens the door and she's like, I know. And she just closes it.
My mom will probably do that. My mom will probably do that. She'll be like, I know there's a lot of people there. I don't want to deal with people.
Todo ese color, todos esos enanos. No, deja. And she just close the door and be like, yo me quedo aquí en el blanco y negro.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Color your screen. Pa qué?
But you know what we all could use a little bit more of on our screens, and our guests today are helping provide that?
Yes, sir.
What?
Only in Dade.
Well, I was going to say, but they're providing us with lots of information and cars on fire.
Cars on fire. Who knew that cars on fire would be such a thing?
It was going to be like their thing, like what they you know, posted. So this week, as we mentioned, we have, you know, some members of Only in Dade with us. If you don't follow them, they're on Instagram. I mean, I'm sure most of our listeners follow them.
I'm sure all of our listeners.
That's true. Probably a big chunk follow Only in Dade.
They have hundreds of thousands of followers.
This is true.
I'm sure they follow Only in Dade.
This is true.
If they follow us, they follow Only in Dade.
And also, I know it's a little late, but welcome to any of you who are here because of Only in Dade. You know, who came to listen to them chat. We also had with them, you know, professional boxer fighter Ulysses Diaz, who super nice guy, just broke a world record, knockout world record, knocked the guy out in like a second and like a second, like 1.33 seconds or something like that, and like.
When he knocked him out, the bell was still like...
The bell was still ringing. Like you said it, like the last row was still like, ¿Cuándo empieza? Empieza, no, it's over. It's over. So here we go, guys. Only in Dade.
Ho, ho, ho! Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. The holidays are here. Yeah, 2020 is ending for better or for worse. But the holidays are here, and while we all love chestnuts roasting on an open fire, hairy chestnuts, not so much. Well, our friends at Manscaped are here to save the holidays. You know, we've only been telling you about Manscaped pretty much all of 2020, right? This Christmas, Manscaped is offering their Performance Package Bundle, the perfect gift for your favorite package. Manscaped's got all the gadgets and all the scents your guy can want. Seriously, the scent is like so good. It's fresh, it's clean. I mean, not for nothing Manscaped, but they should make like a candle or like a room odorizer or something of it. Who knows? Mira, it includes the Lawnmower 3.0 body trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and the Crop Reviver ball toner. And if you get Manscaped's Performance Package now, they'll even toss in a pair of their briefs and travel bag. And not for nothing, their briefs are awesome. If you really want your bells jingled, use promo code PERO20 at manscaped.com for 20% off your order and free shipping handling. It's the season for the perfect gift with the perfect promo, so use PERO20 as your promo code when ordering your Performance Package Bundle at manscaped.com. Feliz Navidad, everyone.
Hey, mi gente, Ish here. Okay. As a Cuban American, it's been my cross to bear having to deal with my Cuban booty. I mean, okay, I got no complaints, right? Pero finding pants that fit just right with all this junk in the trunk, no, es casi un full-time job. Bueno, I found the perfect jean. No, literally, it's a new brand of men's jeans called The Perfect Jean. With just a 2% of spandex tossed in the mix, they are so stretchy and soft, like they just feel like a second skin. The fit is so damn good. I mean, it's like wearing the jeans version of that Venom symbiote in Spider-Man. It just like becomes part of you. It's so damn good. Oh yeah, and durable? I've worn them for almost a month now. Okay, no, tranquilo, not continuously. I have washed them, okay? But everything from the fit to the color is still like the day I got them in the mail, which is probably due to the fact that they use the highest quality materials and sewing techniques. Look, I don't know much about sewing, but I do know a good product when I wear it. And I also know a good deal. Visit theperfectgene.nyc today and use code PERO25 for 25% off your first order. That's right, 25% off from us when you use the code PERO25. Finding the perfect gene for your man or yourself has never been easier. Visit theperfectgene.nyc today and use code PERO25 for 25% off. Because let's face it, the only thing better than the perfect gene is the perfect deal. All right, mi gente, and we're back. So, okay, today we have got probably one of the most exciting guests we've had in a while, and we get excited about a lot of our guests, but we have with us today, it's like a three-fer, but it's a two-fer. It's we've got with us some members of Only in Dade, and we also have professional fighter with us, Ulysses Diaz. I know I want to start with Only in Dade, but I'm not. I'm gonna start with Ulysses Diaz because homeboy just knocked somebody out in like less than 3 seconds. And what is that? You broke a record, right?
Yes, sir. We set a record for the fastest knockout in combat sports history.
Okay. We just saw that.
Like faster than Mike Tyson.
Like Guinness Book of World Records faster than anybody.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Guinness Book of World Records reached out to Bare Knuckle. They're putting me on the...
Because the reason I say that is because, remember all these Mike Tyson fights back in the day that people would pay pay-per-view for, and then it was over in like seconds or in a few minutes. Yeah. So, and you beat Mike Tyson.
I beat him by a long shot. Yeah.
Nice. Well, congrats.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
And you're from, hometown.
Born and raised in Dade County. Yes, sir.
He was born only in Dade.
Only in Dade.
That's right.
Only in Dade. So we are like super excited about having you guys here because, Only in Dade has become a news source, like a humor source, and it's also become a saying because now people say only in Dade.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. It really is.
You're like Google.
Exactly. People see shit and they're like, only in Dade. So obviously, we always like to ask these questions when we bring people on the show that, have an established, format like you guys do. How did this start? And when you started, did you ever imagine it would get to where it is?
That's always the best question. Do you want to say it? Okay. What's up, everybody? First of all, it's good to be here with you guys. So thank you for having us. But Only in Dade, I want to say, started in not the most unconventional of ways. It actually started because one of our partners or somebody that we started it with had an idea while sitting at a sports grill. And
of course, a sports grill.
Oh, damn.
Best wings in Miami. I'm just saying.
Hashtag not an ad. Not an ad. But it's so sitting there. And I mean, even prior to this, being from Miami, you guys know that the stuff that happens here is like, of course. Dade, bro. It's only in Dade. It's like you have to be from Miami to understand that. But it really just started there. And then it started as a Facebook page. Then migrated to Instagram. And once Instagram rolled out stories is when things started, kind of taking shape. Because, I mean, everybody kind of knows now. You see something crazy, you tag us, we repost it on the stories. And the stories is actually what's most active. We post things on the feed, but we're not posting all day long on the feed. We're posting all day long on the stories.
Yeah, I gotta say, the stories is where it's happening, and I say that just because I very strategically put our sticker right under your sticker at the Three Chefs, and somebody posted it and sent it to you guys. Like, they're like, I'm finally on Only in Dade, and I'm like, and we're on Only in Dade too. All right.
I see that.
That's the Miami Chief, pa.
That's
the Miami Chief.
Don't hate the player.
But we got you on the show, so clearly, it's all good, right? Like we're.
Love.
And I'm only saying this, excuse me for interrupting, but I'm Cuban. Get your purse off the floor.
No, that's a no, man.
You were looking at it the whole time. Like,
That is. Oh yeah, that's 101. He was like scratching. Le va a dar cosa.
Part of the culture, man. It's part of the culture. Only in Dade.
But you know what? That's part of that culture that you guys have captured so well. At the end of the day, it's because again, we're born and raised Miami boys, right? And everybody here is born and raised Miami, so we kind of take it for granted what that means, right? Like we don't know how to describe it, but we know it when we see it. Kind of like people say we have an accent. I don't hear it myself, but okay, sure. Yeah, exactly. But
I went to school up in Michigan, and people are like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Where am I from? I'm from Miami." And they're like, "You have an accent." I'm like, "No, I don't."
you have an accent, Brenda from Kentucky. Like, it's like,
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't have an accent.
how do you think you guys have been able to capture that essence, which it's a little undefinable, right? But you guys do capture it.
It's a community. That's pretty much what it is. It's a community. So basically, the reason why we are able to capture that is basically this is a community page. So it's by the community for the community, and everything that we do is based on that. So that's it. Right?
I think too, it's almost become a trend to post things, right? So where at the beginning it was just kind of people from Miami or from Dade. I was saying this earlier, like, oh, you got to be from Miami to understand that. That's not the case anymore because people get to see it. Like this is like what I love. I'm like, before this, you couldn't really be on the beach and know what was happening in La Cuarenta. You know what I mean? Like now you can see it all day long. Even me being born and raised in Dade, you know, I could never understand, oh, what's going on over there because I wouldn't see it. It was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So people have caught wind of that. And now it's not just Dade people, tagging us.
I live in Kendall, but I work in Hialeah. So we'll get to the burning cars in a moment. But whenever I'm on your page and I see a burning car, I'm like, okay, I'm not taking the Palmetto South.
Exactly.
I'm taking I always check to see when was this posted.
It's better than Waze. It's better than
Waze.
It's the Miami Waze.
For real.
Oh yeah, you guys need to have a traffic app.
Yo, get on it.
Are we working on this?
We should.
I don't know what your plans are for extension of the brand, but that's got to be like top 5 at least. Like,
or like
only
at
in Dade
least
traffic app.
Maybe we could do a collab.
We have to inform the people. People say, "Oh, this is your traffic update."
Seriously. Or maybe we need to call Waze and do a collab with them. It could be a little only in Dade logo and it's like burning car alert.
And it could just be like, bro, don't take the 836.
Te vas a comer un cable.
We started talking about it. Let's take it full force on the burning car thing because
He was the first person that brought it up to me, the trend.
Because I live in Kendall, I work in Hialeah, so I take the 836, the 826. That's why I'm bitter by the end of the day. I take the turnpike, and every now and then, obviously, you see a burning car. But whoever watches Only in Dade, is scrolling through Only in Dade. It's like, coño, aquí every day, like there's cars on fire. So what do you guys think this phenomenon of burning cars?
It's either maraña. Insurance maraña? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm not sure what it is. I just know that we started seeing how many cars were on fire and we're like, what is this? And just we keep reposting it because it became a thing in and of itself. Because it's literally like every single day there's a car burning. We aren't you even surprised by it still?
I am.
We're like, bro, another one?
Take it down a notch because we get like 4 or 5 burning cars a day.
That's taking it down a notch.
Yeah, we try
Oh yeah,
to
because
do
it looks
one.
like the end of some post-apocalyptic movie sometimes. Like,
No, but we see it from different angles.
That's the other thing. Actually, that's when we were really intrigued by it because we'd see somebody coming northbound. We got the angle northbound. Then we got the angle southbound. So it's funny because it's like, oh wait, if you didn't catch it, let me show you from another angle.
And it's interesting that's become such a staple of Only a Dade because a burning car. I mean, that in itself is not particular to any one place, but somehow in Only in Dade it's become like a staple. A burning car only in Dade.
Yeah, legit.
so yeah. So actually, so Ulysses, how did you get involved with these crazy car burning characters?
Well, since we can't say names, but one of the founding members is
I love watching him like shit. He's right in front of me. Can't say a name, but
the squirrel's running in my brain right now. One of the founding members, he's my brother. We've known each other since 6th grade. He's been a great friend of mine, more than a friend. Like I said, he's a brother to me. And
whereabouts you from? What area?
I'm from the 67th and Bird area, South Miami area.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Yeah,
So por
yeah.
ahí. Eso depending on who you talk to. Eso either South Miami, West Miami,
Right,
Wecheste,
right.
más o menos.
They burn scooters around my way, not more than cars. But you know, we met in middle school. We've been great friends ever since. You know, we both had a little. You know, we both in our different careers had a nice rise, and we've helped each other out, and it's amazing. Honestly, they've helped me out more than I've been able to help them. You know, but it's family. But they've been great with me, and you know, they post me on their stories when they can. They post me on the feed, and I've got a huge, you know, support from Miami because of Only in Dade.
Right. No, I'll say that's one of the things I've noticed just in general. Not everybody, obviously, but for a big part of, like, you know, I hate the term influencers, but I'm going to use it as a catch-all. I know. I see you making the face, and I'm that guy too. I like cringe. I'm like, influencer. It sounds so pretentious. Like I should be selling like Herbalife or something. But it's like, you know.
We're gonna lose listeners. Don't attack Herbalife.
For real.
This is true. That's right. But what I would say is, you know, it's funny you mention that because, like, I do feel like there's that sense of weird camaraderie in Miami where it's like, you know, you do have people who are a little on their own thing and, you know, they don't, no te dan la mano, as it were. But I feel like that's an interesting story because we have found that to be true. Like, even just with you guys, you know, like we were talking, we met you, you know, Only in Dade guys, like literally as of this recording was almost a year ago.
It's crazy.
At Croqueta Palooza. And, you know, you guys came up to us and it was like, you know, good job. Oh, we love what you're doing. And what? Yeah. Como cubano of thing, it took us a year to get together, obviously, because we do everything.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
But, you know, it speaks like to what you're saying.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and it's like they said earlier, it's by the community for the community. So, you know, it's helping get people's names out there, people's businesses, people's podcasts, you know, and everybody comes together and it's for a common cause. You know what I mean? You look on a story and you find out about something you didn't know that was 5 blocks from your house. Like, wait, well, hold up. I got to go eat there or them. I got to go listen to these guys, you know?
Yeah.
No, and it's awesome that you guys have kept it, as you said, about the community because, you know, you've been very successful. You could have totally made it kind of about yourself now, you know, and you've still kept it true Miami. So I always like to ask, you know, people that are, you know, on brand with Miami, I always like to ask, so if you were somewhere else and you were to explain Miami to somebody who's never been to Miami, that thinks that Miami is just, you know, Miami Vice or a Puff Daddy video or whatever. You know, somebody who really doesn't know what Miami is about. How would you explain Miami?
Yeah, I want each of you to take a turn answering it. Yeah. Because we've got 3 very different, I'm assuming very different people who are going to have very different answers.
You know what? I remember, I forgot what state he was from, but some senator that said that Miami's a third world country. And you know what? It's Miami's paradise, man. You know, I was born and raised here, so I guess I'm, you know, kind of biased on that. But I've been around the world. I've talked to many people from everywhere, and there really is nothing like Miami. From the beautiful people to the beautiful beaches, we are like our own thing here. Because once you leave Miami, and you could be Cuban, Puerto Rican, anything. Once you leave Miami, you're Mexican. You know what I mean? And it's a whole different thing, and it's a whole different language, and it's I don't know. It's hard to explain it's hard to explain in a sense, but once you get here, if you're not from here, you understand, and if you're from here and you leave, you get it too.
Yeah, you do. Like he said, Michigan.
We say that a lot here as well because, like, even though in Miami there's, you know, an overwhelmingly amount of Cubans, everybody is very celebrated. You know, if you're a Puerto Rican, you know, awesome. If you're Venezuelan, you know, now like Peruvian, like every other restaurant opening up is Peruvian. Like we're very big. We're very big. Oh my gosh, that's the best. Un tallarín, you know. But everybody, you know, everybody is very much. They're individual, but everybody is from Miami. It's like Miami first, you know, and then where you're from, you know?
So what I think Miami comes from, I mean, what Miami is the people. So it's a big melting pot. Yes. That's why I like to explain Miami. Miami is a big melting pot, and it's just, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
To add on to that, it's a big melting car. It's diversity and culture. Like there is like what you were saying, every corner you can go and get Mexican food, Peruvian food, Colombian food, Creole food, like Indian food, anything. There's just so much diversity, and it's not such a big city for the amount of diversity that we have. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And when you go to other places, even other major cities, you see that there's diversity, but not like there is in Miami. So I think that sums it up the most.
It's a little watered down, I think, in other places. Not to insult other states or other communities. Like here, things I think are very kind of like extreme. Like for example, a regatta. Anywhere else in the country, a regatta means family this. A nice family event that you wear polo shorts, a polo shirt and like nice khaki shorts. A regatta here is something completely different. Actually, let's explain to our out of county listeners, what is the Miami regatta?
Yeah, it's pirate flags saying we'll take your booty. You know what I mean? Stripper poles on yachts. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you're
on yachts, stripper poles on canoes.
Right, like absolutely, exactly.
And by the time you head back to Black Point,
and strangers pulling up to your boat on jet skis and partying with you, and you're like, all right, cool, let's do it.
And by the time you get back to Black Point, you are,
black feet.
Yes, exactly. And then the cars end up, in the water.
Right. Yeah, that's trending too, though.
Ironically enough, the cars that have the water, not the ones that are on fire.
Right.
Ironically.
Right, but see, anywhere else, to what you said earlier, anywhere else, a car that ends up in the water in a canal, we're like, oh shit, how did it end up there? Here, we know it's probably for insurance reasons.
Absolutely.
Your lease is probably up in a few years, or your car is upside down, and you really want that new Mustang. You really want
you
that.
You didn't hear it here.
We don't endorse that lifestyle. We're just commentators.
Eso no se tapa con un dedo.
Exacto. My mom used to say, y la luna no se come con mermelada. It's not that simple.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God. No, I mean, I will say, I find one of the things I found interesting is like during this insane year with COVID, you guys kind of, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, went from being like just, I think, a source of like fun and like, jokes and all that. You guys literally for a while there, especially, were becoming like a source of information.
Yeah.
Like we had like, I think, what is it? The mayor was, chatting with you guys. Yep. You guys were sharing like, hey, this is where you can go pick up food. This is where the testing is going on. If you went here, no, that one closed. You guys were like on point. And that, that speaks a lot again to who you guys are. It's not just about, we're going to set up this page and get the likes and, and call it a day, right? It's, you really are about the community. Yeah. And then that comes through in everything. Like at what point did you guys, was it something that you said to yourself, we should be doing this? Or was it just like the light went off and you're like, yo, we just have to?
Honestly, the light went off immediately, because if we have this this big platform where we have a solid viewership and people go there to be entertained. And if we have the eyes, why not then use it to bring value to the community? Because that's what it was. I mean, and he said it first. It's by the community, for the community. So immediately, for example, when restaurants started shutting down, I remember this was one of the first things that really set off that time. We put a post and we said, if you own a small, mom and pop shop, whatever your restaurant is, and you're open, drop it in the comments. I cannot tell you, it was like, oh my God, how many comments got on? I can't even tell you how many, but that I think was what really set it off during this time, or like kind of like the new wave of Only in Dade, because it was really bringing more value. We were making people laugh still, but we were also bringing value to the people that we love, because the people that share things on Only in Dade are people that own small restaurants, are people that are local, locally bred, are people that we know ourselves and that we love, and restaurants or shops that we don't want to see close down, so it's fun and games, but it's also bringing value. And I think that's where it switched.
To us, that was the moment from like a personal perspective where we kind of like, we loved you guys and we thought it was fun and games, but it's almost like we rediscovered you. You know what I mean? Where it was just like, they really
That's cool.
are
Thank you.
a part of the community.
Yeah, and it was not to blow smoke up your ass, but since you're here, and our guest.
Whatever.
But you guys could have completely gone another way, and there were several we're not going to use the word influencer, but several, other entities, like for example, Martha of Miami, who, we love, she's a friend of the podcast. She started doing, the whole thing with the masks. Lucy Lopez from Power 96, who, she's a really good friend of ours, has become as well. She started posting things as well, and you guys that you took your platform, as you said, in a positive way. So I guess with that said, my question is, because you guys must receive a lot of content on a daily basis. So, I mean, I know it's by the people for the people, but obviously there's a curating aspect to it that you guys have to do. Is there any, I'm sure there's stuff that you guys say, okay, no, we're not going to post this. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to share that because that's probably like really not shareable. But I mean, if you want to say what things that you wouldn't post.
Yeah. Well, a couple of the things that we don't post are things that are very degrading to any human being. No nudity, nothing, somebody like getting like fights, for example, unless it's Yuli.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
You'll be surprised the amount of content that we get that we can't put up on a page.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You think that you're seeing the craziest of it, but it's not.
Page has gotten so popular that they just tag you on anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, like, it could be like you're going out to eat with your wife, and you're like, only in Dade, you know what I mean? Like,
True. That's actually a good point. It's true.
And we do have some kind of social responsibility to keep
Right.
it,
So ninguna pelea de gallo.
He doesn't
ni nada
like
de
to
eso.
talk on the mic. No, for sure. It's definitely that. We have a lot of people that are young. I mean, the demographic is so wide. It's from like, even high schoolers to like our older parents and things like that. So definitely social responsibility.
One thing, you'll be surprised how many people get naked and just walk around an expressway. I
feel personally attacked right now.
Oh my God, was it you? No, I'm just kidding.
Is this next to the burning car?
Walk straight up naked. I've at least twice a week oh yeah.
But sometimes we're not sure.
And
We don't know if it's drug related or if it's
you know what else
like a
I
thing.
also commend you guys on? That, you guys didn't get political. Right now, because it could have been so easy, not even if you took one side or the other, but just to post political content, and there were so many crazy things going on in our community one way or another, and you guys didn't get political. So I commend you for that.
Well,
as well.
that's cool. Thank you for noticing that, because we definitely encourage people to vote. But like we said,
You were civic minded.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if we were to put, and I'm not knocking any company or brand that does this, but if we pride ourselves in being something that's inclusive, something that's for everybody in our community. So why would we put one name to it? It's a brand. It's a community based initiative. It's not just him or me or him or So I mean, there's people in our own teams that have different views.
We have a friend, a very, very good friend of ours that we went to high school with, Southwest Miami Senior High.
Okay.
I told you we're from Westchester.
La
what is that? 48 y la 87.
Exacto. así mismo.
Our friend Juana, who lives in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And she, as she says, I'm just a Miami girl living in Milwaukee, and I'm constantly making fun of her. And she follows you guys, and she feels like she's home. So that gives her like little tidbits of being at home.
She literally reaches out to us. We'll be like, "Did you guys see the thing that they posted on Only in Dade that this and this and this is happening?" And we're like, "Wait, what? I'm at work. What's going on?" Like she's like, "Yeah."
We'll do a PSA right now, man. You guys listening right now, please close your balcony windows for God's light, man. We get a lot of people having sex on balconies, man.
That's
wide open.
We don't post.
But I'm gonna amend that. If you're unattractive, close your blinds. If you're models, you can leave them open. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, but we won't share it.
Oh, I'm just saying in
We
general. I could be walking by that
send it
window.
to you.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna start an OnlyFans for that.
Yeah, and OnlyFans for the really
Only in Dade fans.
only in Dade fans, exactly. But that I like that you mentioned that, because we've seen this more and more recently. But the first couple of times we saw somebody post, was it in like Ohio or something, and they in snow on like the car, they wrote only in Dade, and we're like, this is
that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
because it's more of a reach than just our people here, and that kind of goes back to the comment that we were making earlier, that it's kind of like, now it doesn't matter if you're here or not here, or if you're from here or not from here. It does bring that sense of community, and like everybody understands.
It does.
It's like an ongoing inside joke with everybody.
People get mad when they don't. Like, why haven't you post me? The thing they gotta understand that we get
Yeah, sometimes
thousands.
Yeah.
So we're a 5-man team, 5-man and woman team, 5-person team.
Future is female.
You know, yes.
No, because I was thinking, I'm like, man, you guys must get so much content.
No,
you know?
we probably get about 600 DMs of content a day, from 600 to 800 DMs.
Right.
And then we get 37 million impressions a week. So,
But I'm telling you, it's become a verb. Like the other day, I was in La 16 in Hialeah, and there was a guy on a bicycle with like a lawnmower motor, and I'm there getting my phone to record it to send you guys, and he was gone by the time I couldn't. I'm like, that's another thing. It's like, estás apurado cogiendo el teléfono, like unlocking your screen. It's like, damn it. I got it.
What's funny is that sometimes I go on a story and then I'll see some of my friends that somebody else caught doing something like. But I'm like, bro, I actually saw my brother one time. He was driving in a car and the rearview mirror was kind of hanging off and he was kind of messing with it, and they're like, only in Dade. I'm like, I'm like, bro, look, they got you.
How much of your content comes from Hialeah?
What do you think?
I think about maybe 20%.
20%.
Only? Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I would have thought it was a good 40.
Believe it or not, Brickle is really
Really?
yes.
Probably because of how many people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It's just empaquetado. Yeah.
exactly.
But we got Candle. We show love to everybody.
Yeah,
We show love to everybody.
For sure.
Oh my god. So what's next for you guys? I'm actually gonna break this up. I'm like, what's next for Only in Dade?
And then what?
And then what's next? Are you gonna just knock somebody out in like milliseconds now, Ulysses? Is that what's next?
What's next is dinner.
Okay.
No,
Immediately next is dinner. Yes, we're all very hungry, so I agree with you.
No, my plan in the future for me is I'll be fighting for a bare knuckle championship belt. Bringing that home to Miami.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
When is that happening?
As of right now, yeah, it should be. They gave me a January date, mid-January
okay.
date, or Super Bowl weekend. It's one or the other. By tomorrow, I'll have something, and maybe we'll come back on before the fight. And
You better come back on, because I want to legit, like I was saying earlier, it's just like I freaking love MMA fighting. Like to me, it's just I don't.
Well, this is my last fight. Was sorry to interrupt you. But my last fight was bare
I
knuckle.
will
which
not
is
interrupt you, because you can knock me the fuck out. So I'm not. I'm like,
I won't do that. I'm only a monster in the ring. But yeah, my last 2 fights have been bare knuckle, which I don't know if you guys seen those, but those are way more brutal than MMA.
Yeah,
by far. They last the longest a fight can last is only 10 minutes, and they usually never last that long.
because I just can't.
They can. Yeah,
Wow.
Very few do.
But for sure, please come back, because I do
100%,
want to
100%.
I want to hear all about this crazy ass world that would never I could never be a part of. But I have no doubt he's got more than one.
No. He's saying my life story. But we all got crazy stories.
That's
but,
why I'm saying I want you to come back, because I know that there's a story there. We could do a mini series with you, I'm sure.
We're starting one. You guys keep your eyes peeled out there for that, all right? But I don't know if we're closing up. I want to tell you guys thank you so much for the opportunity, man.
Thank
I
you.
truly appreciate it. It's awesome. You guys are homegrown like us. Yeah. We're from only in Dade, and and thank you again for this, man. It's awesome.
No, thank you for stopping by. So now we know what he's up to. What's Only in Dade proper up to, or what can you tell us about? Let's put it that way.
Well, we have a lot of things rolling out, but right now already on our page we have segments. So before, as you guys know. Cool, dope. As you know, it was kind of more just content that we repost. Now we're creating content, and we have a segment we have on the spot, Paid and Dade, the croqueta review, which it's really funny. They're all really funny.
Does Croqueta Review need a co-host? Listen,
yes.
Reviews,
Well, now we're gonna be doing other reviews, not just croqueta, but
I'll eat just about anything.
But for sure, yeah. We'll talk after the.
We have put it on the record. We would like to be part of that.
We'll do a collab on the reviews, especially. You guys hosted croqueta.
We know a croqueta or two.
Exactly. You know your croqueta. So we have that. We're working on a digital platform, which What do you want? Okay, I'm like, wait, how much can I say? So that'll be out. I'm like, oh shit, scratch that. No, but we're working on a digital platform, so it'll be pretty dope. And what's the next one? The show.
We're doing a show soon. Pretty cool show.
He's like trying to figure out what words to use to para decir sin decir.
Yeah. But what we got going on now is the OND experience. So we're gonna get a party bus. It's gonna be called the Misbehaving Bus.
Oh boy,
that's already in the works. So
is content gonna be created from that bus that you're gonna repost?
So the bus is gonna be the bus is gonna be called Misbehaving, and it's brought to you by Only in Dade, and it's gonna be what happens in Dade stays in Dade.
That bus has.
Dade? Yeah,
I don't know because you guys tend to post what happens in Dade, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Broward?
I mean, we have Broward. We have Only in Broward. That's our sister company. We love.
That's yours.
Yes. Yeah. It's part of the umbrella, and yes, even though
that was yours. It's funny because Fort Lauderdale is in the same metropolitan area that Miami is technically, and it's worlds apart. It's like you see that gente decente walking in Las Olas Boulevard, así, let's have a little coffee. And mientras tanto, here, en la calle 8.
Well, have you seen La Cafetera? That's brought to you by Only in Dade. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we love Broward too. There are we got love for Broward. I know a lot of Miami people like shit on Broward, and it's like whatever, they're
I love Broward. I love all South Florida. I love Florida itself. You know what I mean? Born and raised in Florida, obviously. But it's always been a thing between Broward and Dade. It's always been a thing going back and forth. Except friendly rivalry, except like for Dolphin games or Miami Hurricane games, everybody comes together.
Whether you're from Broward or you're from Dade, if you end up in the Panhandle, we're from South Florida.
Yeah, it's not like
hold up.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, everything's Miami,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Broward.
Yeah. See, what is it? They're trying to.
But we got love.
They're
for
trying
Broward.
to make. Isn't the Miami Galaxy going to be technically in Broward?
Yeah. But it's still called
The Miami Galaxy.
But it's still called Miami Galaxy.
So man, they didn't even get that one.
We love them.
Ni pa eso.
They got the Panthers.
That's true. The Florida Panthers.
Florida.
It's the Florida Panthers, not even the Fort Lauderdale.
Broward, something, please.
Can we get them like a badminton team? I don't know, something. What do we got? Yeah.
Is that Miami is like the Las Vegas of the Southeast, you know what I mean?
That is true.
We're the thing,
That is true.
We're the thing. Even people from Broward are admit to that, you know what I mean? Like, yo, where do you go party?
Miami. Yeah, that's true. They go down to South Beach.
Actually, when I always hear people shit on Miami, I'm like, really? Where do worldwide celebrities come and live and party at? Thank you very much.
$30 million on condos, and you know what I mean? Like.
It's in Miami. Pero bueno, guys, thank you again so much. Like, again, Only in Dade, Ulysses Diaz. You're on Instagram. You're
Uly, ULY_monster. Yeah, check me out.
And I mean, if you listen to us, chances are you already follow Only in Dade. And if you don't, I don't even understand what to tell you. Like, like, why not? What's wrong with you?
You're from Broward.
You're from Broward. Yeah, you must be from Broward. I don't know. Like, or Palm Beach. I don't know. I'm just saying. Algo así lejano. Pero thank you guys so much for stopping by. And just keep doing what you're doing, man.
We so
freaking love you guys.
For you guys. Thank you so much. We're a fan of you guys. So the collab is in the works. We got to get to that.
We'll figure something out.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. And of course, follow us if you're not.
And we're back.
Oh, that was a great interview. Like,
that was fun.
That was just a fun
I
interview.
was really excited to have them because, if you've been listening to our podcast from the beginning, we've been very, very fortunate to have a lot of guests on here.
Yeah.
And we've had very accomplished people, that have, international fame, have Emmys, have all this type of stuff. And that's always amazing to have those people. And we feel very honored when they're on here. But there's something to be said about when we have guests that are local and they came up
homegrown
just like
heroes,
us,
sort of
homegrown, and have gone out there and done their thing, and they're definitely those people.
Yeah.
I mean,
and like we said, they're giving back. They're not just like, look at the funny thing. It's they've become a community unto itself.
They have, and what they do. It's all fun and games and all that, but it's very relevant, and
right.
it is very relevant. And again, when you have whether it's on a storm or something that's going on, when you have people checking only in Dade before checking their, the news.
There are people who were checking it with the whole COVID thing to be like, okay, are the schools open?
Yeah,
Are they?
you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. You
know
become
have
a
people's
resource.
attention. Right.
You become a source for information.
Yeah.
Like that's no joke. And
and it again, it was so great to see how awesome they are and how nice they are. That unlike I shouldn't say unlike other people, because most of the people, with very, very few exceptions, most of the people that we've dealt with that are like Miami homegrown and
they've been fantastic.
have been amazing.
Yeah.
With very, very, very.
It's just kind of sad that
exceptions.
the few exceptions are the ones that we always kind of like, like it annoys us. It's like what did Madonna say that then Lady Gaga thought was an original thought?
If there's 100 people in the room. That's so played out that even I'm tired of. I don't want to say it. If there's 100 people in the room and one of them believes in you, whatever bullshit she said,
right?
Whatever Lady Gaga said.
Yes.
Anyway, bueno, time for our last sodas.
Yes, sir. So do you want to go first?
Yes, I do want to go first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give my last soda to the science community in specific,
That's such a big community.
No, like
that's a lot of soda.
No, seriously, the people working on these vaccines for COVID,
right.
As you guys probably heard in the news, both Pfizer drug and Moderna, which is another drug manufacturer.
Thanks to Dolly Parton.
Huh?
Thanks to Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton donated $1 million.
Can we just have her as a writing candidate next election?
Yeah.
Like, let's just start that. That's a grassroots campaign.
Yeah.
Done.
Dolly 2024.
Yeah, done.
She doesn't need a party.
She is a party.
She is a party. I'm Dolly.
I'm the Dolly Party.
I'm no Democrat. I'm no Republican. I'm Dolly.
Hello, party's almost in her last name.
Yeah. But no, just to like everybody, the scientists and everybody working behind that, because as most people know, or whether you know or not know, developing a vaccine is something that takes years.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes years and years and years, and that in 10 months they've been able to develop a vaccine that, from what they've been saying in trial runs, it's 94 to 95% effective. That means something.
Yeah.
So, these I think are the everyday heroes that nobody talks about, nobody knows about. So, we should give our hats off to those anonymous people.
Those hardworking people.
That, hopefully, I'm very, like everybody, I'm very hopeful on this vaccine. And then when that starts, that's going to be a whole other show of people are like, you're not going to vaccinate me.
God.
Because Bill Gates is getting my information. But we'll leave that subject for a later time.
God, Jenny McCarthy's going to have a field day.
Oh, boy. So, to all those people working in science, here's a soda for you.
We salute you. So I'm going to give my last soda. Actually, I'm going to keep it a little more local. I'm actually going to give it to our guest, one of our guests this week, Ulysses Diaz. Again, like we said, he's a local boy. He's doing what he loves. He's a professional boxer, fighter. He does bare knuckle. He's MMA.
He broke a Guinness World Record.
He broke a Guinness World Record, dude. Like, it never... I
asked him, did the people come with, like, the blazer?
They're working on it. They're working on it, and it's like...
I'd be very excited about
for that. I'd, like, just show up. Like, and like I told him, like, nobody can ever take that away from you, And I think, obviously, that's the result of a lot of hard work and dedication, because I couldn't get into the ring and knock anybody out, period.
So he knocked the guy out in, like, a second, 1.3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, seriously... Can that even be done fast?
How do you even replicate it? Yeah, how? How much faster can you do that? You can't.
I mean, you have to extend your arm. And,
right.
I mean...
It would take me longer to just extend my arm. Forget con fuerza.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a result of obviously hard work and determination. Even I think no matter how prepared you are, you don't think you're going to do something like that. Because, again, who thinks... a knockout in a second, right?
As I said in the entry, I'm like, man, whoever paid pay-per-view.
Right?
It's like a blessing and a curse. It's like, yay, but it's like, man.
Now I have all this time on my hands. What do I do? I already paid the $10. So yes, Ulysses Diaz, you get my last soda this week.
So that's awesome. So... Bueno, that was episode 136. We hope everybody listened, laughed, and learned. And as always, grab your croqueta, your pastelito, and your cafecito. And thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great weekend. Pero Friday, have a great one.
Cuídense, mi gente. Bye. Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.